Am I the a-hole for refusing to help my parents after they gave their house to my sister? I 33 have always had a complicated relationship with my parents. Growing up, my younger sister, Lily 30 was clearly the favorite. They were more lenient with her, gave her more opportunities, and supported her financially in ways they never did for me. I accepted it over the years, figuring it was just the way things were. A few months ago, my parents decided to downsize and move into a smaller home. Instead of selling their current house, which is the one we grew up in, they decided to give it to Lily. They said she needed it more because she's starting a family and could use the space. They didn't offer me anything, not even a conversation about it. This hit me hard, especially since my wife and I are also planning to buy a home soon, and we could have really used some help. When I brought this up to my parents, they brushed it off and said Lily has always been the one who needed more support. I told them I felt hurt and left out, but they just acted like I was being selfish. Fast forward to last week. My parents reached out asking if I could help them with some renovations on their new place. They want me to spend several weekends doing repairs and helping them move, all without any compensation or even acknowledgement of how unfair this situation feels to me. I told them no, that I'm not willing to help after the way they handled giving away the house. They were shocked and accused me of being petty and ungrateful. Lily also chimed in, saying I'm causing unnecessary drama and making everything about me. Now, my parents are barely speaking to me, and some extended family members have reached out, telling me I'm overreacting and that I should just help them out because family comes first. Am I the a-hole for refusing to help them after they gave my sister their house? Update 1. After reading through your comments, I realized that I needed to have a more honest conversation with my parents. I went over to talk to them, hoping they'd understand how hurt I was by their decision to give the house to Lily without even considering my situation or discussing it with me. I explained that it wasn't just about the house, but the years of feeling like I've always been second to her. Unfortunately, the conversation didn't go as I'd hoped. My parents were immediately defensive. My mom insisted that they had every right to do what they wanted with their property and that I should be more understanding of Lily's needs. My dad doubled down, saying that they were just doing what was best for the family and that I was being selfish for making this about myself. They refused to acknowledge any favoritism or the impact their decision had on me. As for Lily, when I confronted her, she basically dismissed my feelings. She told me she didn't see what the big deal was and accused me of trying to stir up drama. She said that if the roles were reversed, she wouldn't be upset and implied that I was overreacting. I tried to explain how it felt to be overlooked for so long, but she just shrugged it off and told me to move on. At this point, I've decided to step back. I've agreed to help my parents with the renovations because I don't want to burn bridges completely, but I made it clear that this doesn't mean I'm okay with how they handled things. They offered to pay me for my time, but honestly, it feels like a way to brush off the real issues. I'm not sure if our relationship will ever fully recover, but I'm focusing on setting boundaries and prioritizing my own well-being. Thanks again to everyone who shared their thoughts. It's been really validating to know that my feelings are justified, even if my family doesn't see it that way. Update 2. Since my last update, I decided that if I was going to help with the renovations, it needed to be a team effort. Given that Lily is the one who's going to benefit from the house, it only seemed fair that she should help out too. So, when my parents asked me again to assist with the renovations, I told them I'd only agree if Lily also pitched in. I made it clear that I'm not willing to do all the work while she just reaps the rewards. At first, they were resistant and said that Lily's busy with work and planning her move, but I stood my ground, explaining that if she's old enough to get the house, she's old enough to take on some responsibility for it too. This led to a pretty intense argument. My parents tried to guilt trip me, saying I was being unreasonable and that I should just help out because it's family. Same BS line. Lily wasn't happy either when I confronted her about it. She flat out refused at first. She said she didn't have the time or energy to deal with renovations and argued that our parents were the ones who should handle it since they're the ones who offered her the house. I didn't back down. I told her that it wasn't fair for me to shoulder all the work while she got the house handed to her. We went back and forth for a while and it got pretty heated. Eventually, I think she realized I wasn't going to budge and she reluctantly agreed to help. It wasn't an easy win, but we've now made plans to work on the house together. She's not thrilled about it and I can tell she's only doing it to keep the peace, but at least she's agreed to take some responsibility. I'm still not entirely happy with how things have played out, but at least I'm not the only one putting in the effort. Hopefully, this can be a step toward a more balanced relationship moving forward, though I'm not holding my breath. I'm glad I've had you guys help over the last few days. Thanks again for all the advice and support.